From timcast.com, North Dakota man admits to running over and killing teenager for allegedly being part of a Republican extremist group. Gosh. This is crazy for a variety of reasons. Look, it's been a couple weeks since Joe Biden said that MAGA Republicans were an extremist threat to this country. And we said that's dangerous rhetoric. That's the kind of tribalist rhetoric that results in violence. The left likes to claim, oh, Donald Trump's engaging in stochastic terrorism. And what he's saying is going to result in violence against journalists, no less. Then what stories do we get? A Democrat is allegedly is arrested for allegedly murdering a journalist. And then it is what I can only assume is some unhinged liberal who he hunted this kid down. The kid apparently called his mom saying he needed help because the guy was chasing him down. And then he chased him into an alley and crushed him with an SUV because he was a Republican extremist. This kid...
Alleged extremist.
Alleged. Yeah. Well, right. He accused him of being a Republican extremist, part of a Republican extremist group. That's was his justification. This guy, it's a cult. These people have paranoid delusions. Joe Biden is inflaming them. And yet they keep pointing the finger at the dude in the MAGA hat sitting in his lounge chair drinking a beer watching the game.
Problem with pointing the finger at any group is like, and I'm going to use the age-old Nazi metaphor, but like people are like, I heard this meme going around, punch a Nazi in like 2018. I'm like, no, okay, this is a bad road to go down. You might think that the Nazis were the bad guys, and maybe they were, but the Nazis thought the Jews were the bad guys, and they thought the Jews were an extremist radical organization that they wanted to remove from the country. You see how that went. When you start persecuting groups of people, it can get very, very bad.
It's tribalism. It's our side is the good side and these people are evil. The only problem is there is truth and there is fiction. And so what do we have here? We have a show like this. Granted, we engage in tribalist rhetoric often as well. But I think there's a difference. For one, we say things like, hey, those guys who were violent on January 6th should be arrested and prosecuted. What do we hear from Kamala Harris and Joe Biden? Their staff and Kamala Harris personally bail these people out. We see violent riots sweeping across the country. What do we get? Justification. What do we get? Chris Cuomo saying, who said protests need to be peaceful? You get calls from the corporate press and the mainstream media justifying calling it a peaceful protest, and you get us begging them to stop. Even saying that the Trump people on January 6th should be charged as well. When you've got a right that's saying we want the violence to end and a left encouraging it, the left then blaming the right, but the left has actually got the ones who are literally running people down. Aaron Danielson shot and killed. Yeah, there is a serious problem and there is a tribal problem.
And this is not the first time that this happened. There's a number of incidences in Washington, in Portland, all throughout the United States. In Colorado, I remember seeing footage of someone getting shot. Yeah. I remember there's other footage of a man at a part of a BLM Antifa rally that was hiding behind a wall that came out and shot someone because of their political opinions. There's a number of people that, of course, were shot, were killed, were executed for their political beliefs. And seeing this in the United States is absolutely horrible because the United States is supposed to represent free speech. It's supposed to represent a country where we could talk through our differences and be able to speak freely and be able to accept each other for our political differences. But now we're meeting speech with guns and people shooting each other, which is absolutely crazy.
Religious differences too. Sometimes people will say that America is a Christian nation, but it's not. It's a nation where you're allowed to be Christian.
Well, it's built on the foundation of Christianity, though.
I mean, Christians built the foundation, but it was the idea that anyone could practice any religion here with the Christians as they were building it.
Yeah. Sorry, no, I'm sorry. I was just going to say, everybody keeps talking about how badly we all need to be communicating with each other. But when you see things like this and all the instances that you just listed off, I mean, this is why people keep their voting preferences private. This is why people don't want to engage. They're actually scared.